Alright, so welcome back. I reprinted my sheet of water slide, and I'm just going around with my fabric scissors inside of my box to trim this up. But I had to reprint my water slide. I didn't seal it well enough, and honestly I was just going to reprint it and go from there and make the video look good, and I was like, nope, people need to see the mistakes, because I want you to see what actually happens if you don't seal your water slide well enough. Because if we don't really show you what happens, you'll be home frustrated trying to figure out why something is not working for you, and if it's just you. And it's not you, it's just that somebody may not have shown you the whole process and the failures along the way, or the mistakes, or whatever you want to call it along the way. So I'm just going in, I'm slowing this down, not worried about it being perfect, because I'm just trying something at this point. And just going in here, getting it sealed down. And I gotta get all this extra Mod Podge off of here, because I don't want it to look globbed up as I go along. Now you see I've done the outside of the box, and I want to go in and put another coat on the outside, because essentially I want it to be stiff, and I want it to almost be waterproof. So I'm going to go along and continue to do that, and I'll be back again. Alright, so I've gone in and it's still wet, and I've gone back and forth and up and down and tried to blend my strokes in as much as possible, because even though it's a craft, I don't want it to look like a kindergarten craft. Now I want to get that extra out of there, because if you don't, when it dries, it will look like a big old glob. So just keep going around, keep getting things down, tacking it down with your Mod Podge. And the one thing is, you really don't have to worry about fraying, because everything is going to be sealed with the glue. Now, because my side was wet, I just went ahead and already decided to put the glue on. And now I am just going to coat over the top. It's going to take a little bit longer for it to dry. Just getting that Mod Podge across the top. And like I told you before, just blending it in, and you can go over it as many times as you need to get everything blended the way you want it to look. So things are still drying, but I'm going to get this last side done. And I'll just tell you, my husband is a Baltimore Ravens fan. My father is a Dallas Cowboys fan. In the past, my husband's like, you ain't bringing no other team stuff up in here. So, you know, we laugh and we talk trash and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, so this is not for my husband. Not at all. This will go to my father. Just as something he can have, because I'm experimenting with the process, and I know he'll love it. So getting that last side on, you saw I just cut it down, applied it, and I'm going to trim around my edges. Alright, my edges are trimmed, and now I'm just going to go across the top with my Mod Podge. And I want it to be liberal, but I also want it to be able to seep in. So I'm going to get it on here liberally, and then I am going to try to get that down as flat as possible. So if you get it on there liberally, it allows the fabric to adhere to each other. It seeps through and it adheres. But then you want to try to get it as flat as possible so it can lay. So I'm going to paint vertically and horizontally, and I will be back. So I'm still going around the bottom, and I'm letting it dry, And, you know, I was just thinking yesterday, my dad texted us all in the family chat and said, Cowboys are playing Do Not Disturb. And I told you we trash talk, so I kindly texted him back and told him Cowboys fans are already disturbed. So, I'm going to keep paying, guys, and I'll be back again.